Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Today's September 24th. 2 days ago, it is reported that Yogi Berra, the longtime New York Yankee baseball player, died. He was also the manager of the New York Mets at the end of his career, and we'll get into why that's so interesting. What I want to focus on first are all the curiosities about his death, because there's a lot of suspicious things here. He went by the name Yogi Berra, a nickname with gematria of 55, one of the most important numbers in numerology. The word numerology itself has a gematria of 55, just like Yogi Berra. If you sum the numbers 1 through 10, it totals 55, and in numerology, 10 and 55 are connected to God. Interestingly enough, in gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, 55 is connected to Satan instead of God. The name Yogi Berra in simple English gematria is interesting too. The name Berra has 44 gematria. 44, a number of great focus. He died on September 22nd, the day Pope Francis arrived in the United States. Pope Francis arrived at 4:04 p.m. Eastern Time. The name Pope Francis in Jewish gematria sums to 404. If you drop the zero, 404 becomes 44, a number of great focus right now, a number often associated with death and killing. Pope Francis is here to meet the 44th president. I've done several videos on Pope Francis. He has more connections than that to the number 44, but it should be noted that the last pope to die while pope was Pope John Paul I, who died on his 33rd day of being pope on a date with 44 numerology. Anyhow, notice that Yogi Berra was born May 12th. This year on May 12th, we had the Philadelphia Trainwreck. That train was heading to New York, where Yogi Berra played baseball, managed baseball. He died September 22nd, which is extra curious because he was first called up to play Major League Baseball on September 22nd, 1946. That's 69 years ago. Same day. The day he was called up to play baseball ended up being the day he died. Notice that his birth name is Lawrence Peter Berra, a name with 90 gematria. He just died at age 90. And 90 is one of those special numbers because when written out, 90 has a gematria of 33. Only 16 and 90 have that property. A lot of accomplishments for Yogi Berra. Notice the numerology of the date he was called up. September 26, 1946 was a date with 33 numerology. It was also a date with 96 numerology. The word Freemason has gematria of 96. When you sum the ranging degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry, 31, 32, 33, it sums to 96. This date has a life lesson number of 51. Freemason, Pythagorean with the S exception, 51. So a lot of Freemason coding on the day he was called up. He was also called up on a date with 77 numerology, a special number to the nation and the Zionists who run Major League Baseball. The American meridian's the 77th meridian. He finished his playing career with the Yankees as a 39-year-old. Right now, Alex Rodriguez is 39 years old, and he is having his best season with the Yankees. This is because baseball is a rigged sport played by athletic actors, and also because 39 is one of the most important numbers in New York. New York's acronym, Simple English Gematria, sums to 39. New York Pythagorean Gematria sums to 39, as does the word empire for Empire State. New York was established July 26, 1788, a date with 39 numerology. The United Nations in New York is 39 floors tall. Remember, 39 signers on the Declaration of Independence. Again, Yogi Berra played his baseball career with the New York Yankees. When he was done there, he managed the New York Mets. He finished in the 63 season. He retired after the 63 World Series. What's interesting about the year 63 is the following events happened. There was a Pennsylvania train wreck in 63, there was a Southern black church bombing in 63, and there was a presidential assassination of John F. Kennedy in 63. This year there's been a Philadelphia train wreck in Pennsylvania. There's been a Southern black church shooting, which has been directly connected to the bombing by numerology, which I have shown very well. And there has not been a presidential assassination this year, but there has been a lot forecast for one. Covered this very well. Obama reopened Ford's Theater at the beginning of his presidency, where Abraham Lincoln was shot and killed by the numbers. The last time that theater had been reopened was in 68, the year MLK was assassinated on 4/4. Please check out those videos if you have not already. Yogi Berra is said to be the 52nd greatest non-pitching player in the history of Major League Baseball. You know, you have to wonder how they come up with those rankings, so many people to play the game. But anyway, that number 52 has been a focus all year. Notice that 63 was 52 years ago. At the end of his playing career, one of his greatest achievements was catching an entire game that lasted 22 innings. And for anyone who's ever played catcher in baseball, you realize what an amazing feat that is. Playing catcher, wearing that gear, being in that position on your knees, it is a very challenging position. To play it for 22 innings is an accomplishment. Let us not forget that he was called up September 22nd, 9/22, and died on 9/22. 9, one of the most important numbers in baseball. A game of 9 innings. Lots of 9s coded into baseball. 162 game season, numerology of 9. MLB, numerology of 9. So much 9 in baseball. So from May 12th to the day he died is a span of 133 days, or exactly 19 weeks. His career in baseball lasted 19 years. Again, died at the age of 90. Award with 33 gematria, just like how he was called up on a date with 33 numerology. The day he died on Truth Seeker is a date with 46 numerology, and let us not forget he was called up September 22nd in the year 1946. And then he dies at age 90 on a day with 46 numerology. If you haven't seen my recent posts on Moses Malone and Daryl Dawkins, please check them out. All of this stuff is connected. This is the killing of athletes by the numbers. From reading about Yogi Berra, I realized that the cartoon Yogi Bear was made as a dedication to him in the year 58. 58. The word father has gematria 58. He died on the day that the, in quotes, Holy Father arrived in the United States. So here's what I want to show you, Truth Seeker. Well, one more thing. One of his best known quotes is, "It ain't over till it's over." A quote that a lot of sports fans need to remember, because so often sports fans are giving up on their team in the closing minutes just before the comeback, which is part of where that quote comes from. It ain't over till it's over. This quote has Pythagorean gematria of 105. This is a special number to the Zionists and the Freemasons. He died on the day before the fall equinox, which also has that gematria of 105. And he died just days before the fourth and final blood moon, which will be September 27th or 28th, depending on where you are in the world. But here's what really creeps me out, Truth Seeker. If you missed this, I want to take you back in time. On May 11th, on my written blog, I made a big connection, and I thought, aha, there might be a Subway series. Last year's World Series closed out with a major tribute to 53. Last year's World Series ended on a date with 53 numerology. The coach of the Giants has 53 name gematria. By the Giants winning that World Series, they had then won 3 of the last 5 World Series. Earlier in the day, there was a story about a missing fan of football being found 110 miles from where he was lost. It was the 110th World Series last year. That man was 53 years old. He had a name gematria of 53. He had a March 22nd birthday. Just lots of coding. Anyhow, the World Series last year that was won by the Giants with all this 53 coding, I was looking for the meaning of 53 in this regard, and it made me realize that the first ever Subway Series was between the New York Giants, who are now in San Francisco, and the New York Yankees. This is back when it was a 9-game World Series. The Giants took it 5-3. In the history of Major League Baseball, there have been 14 Subway Series. If there is one this season, it will be the 15th in the year 2015. So anyway, I was making these findings last year on May 11th, and then the next day I put out a video. Also a true secret. Part of the reason I'm saying Subway Series is because it's the 111th, and 111 is a special number to New York. New York has a gematria of 111. So the next day, on May 12th, early in the day, I did this video on why there very well might be a Subway Series this year. And later in this same day, we would have the Philadelphia Trainwreck. Some people were accusing me of being in the Illuminati because of what happened. I said, no, this is just a really crazy coincidence if you believe in such things. But recall, this Philadelphia Trainwreck came at 9:23 p.m. May 12th. I'd already made my video hours earlier in the day. Notice that this happened on a date with 52 numerology. We were talking about how 52 years earlier in 63, Yogi Berra retired, Pennsylvania train wreck, church bombing, presidential assassination. 52, also a number connected to the Pope. This train that crashed, it was train number 188. YouTube froze my video of the Subway Series prediction, this video that I had made earlier in the day. They froze it for almost, let's see, what date did I make this post? I made this post on May 14th. So from May 12th to May 14th, this video just stuck on 188 views. It just sat there. And again, this was about a Subway Series. The train that crashed in Philadelphia was traveling to New York. It was train number 188. All throughout the year, I've documented this, where the powers that be who watch my YouTube videos, they freeze my videos where the numbers are significant. This isn't the only time this has happened. Also, Truth Seeker, the day I made that Subway Series prediction, part of the reason I did is because ESPN kept running this commercial on May 11th. Rule 33, every fifth day the Dark Knight rises, in reference to Matt Harvey, number 33, who plays for the Mets. And the Mets have always had a connection to 33. Their old stadium is Shea. Shea has gematria of 33. It was torn down, the last piece of it, at 11/22. 11/22/33. This ad was for their game against the Chicago Cubs, the CC, the 33. And the date of the game, Truth Seeker, was going to be a date with 33 numerology, you know. Now they play at Citibank Field, the Mets. Another 33 connection, just like Shea. Dark Knight, Subway Series. It's all in the numbers, Truth Seeker. You know? This gematria and numerology, it's not an exact science for predicting, but if you get good at it, if you know some history, it can be fairly accurate. And should there be a Subway Series, just know I predicted it at the beginning of the baseball season. Also, what I want to say, Truth Seeker, is there's a fellow Truth Seeker who's found my written work and started his own blog. This is it right here. He's doing really awesome work too. Check out his written posts. He's uncovering a lot of stuff. He goes even deeper than I do, and it impresses me so much because he's only been doing it for so long. In case you haven't seen this before, Truth Seeker, he covered this too, about all the 162 coding in baseball. Major League Baseball has a 162-game season. This is a league that has always been run by the Zionists. It's the same reason people like Yogi Berra, Moses Malone, Daryl Dawkins, and more die by the numbers. This is what these Zionists do. So check out his blog. Go back and check out my older work. Lots of interesting things to know. It ain't over till it's over, Truth Seeker.